Lesson 6.6 is on finding the discounts and markups, okay? So we are gonna use our proportion formulas to find our percents of discount and markup. So we're gonna have to remember how to solve proportions and stuff like that, like we've learned in the past, and just continue to apply it to some different and new scenarios here in this lesson, okay? So I have kind of more of my discount formula and my markup formula. These proportions are about the same, just kind of the wording on them based on because it's a discount and because it's a markup, I have it worded a little bit differently. So in the top left, we're gonna put the percent that we're spending on the item, okay? Not the percent of discount, not the percent of markup, what we are spending on the item. So we have to do a little math before we can figure out what we're gonna put in that top left. So what you do for a discount is you take 100, which would have been the full percent, and you subtract whatever the discount was, okay? So say it was a 20% discount, you would take 100 minus 20, so you'd put 80 on the top, not 20, because 80 would be the percent that you're spending on a 20% discount, okay? You always put that over 100 when you're dealing with percent, and then you set it equal to the sale price, so what are they selling it for now over what the original price was at the beginning, okay? Markup, very similar. The only difference really is markup means they're gonna be charging you more than the original. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 100 plus whatever the percent of markup is, okay? So if it's a 20% markup, you're not gonna put 20 in the top left, you're gonna take 100 plus 20 and put 120 in the top left because you're spending 120% if they marked it up, okay? And then once again, we always put it over 100, and then equals the selling price, which is similar to the sale price. It's what we're spending on it. And then over now what the cost to the store was. So if the store bought an item for a certain amount, if they want to try to make money, they're going to mark that up, all right, to make a profit, and then they're going to sell it to us for a little bit higher than what they bought it for themselves, okay? So these are the two types of proportions that we're going to use. So we'll use this one for discount and this one for markup. Really the main difference is just we need to subtract 100 from our discount and then add 100 to our markup, okay? So I got a couple examples down here, all right? So I'm gonna get my format down for my proportion. All right, so they're telling me the original price of an item is $20, the percent of discount is 20%, and we need to figure out what the sale price is gonna be. What are we gonna have to spend on this item, okay? So original price, we know it's a discount, so I'm gonna use this top formula here. Original price was $20, so original goes bottom right. Okay, then we are going to put percent of discount, 20% of discount. So that doesn't mean we're putting 20 up here. It means we need to take 100 minus our percent of discount. So 100 minus 20, it means we're spending only 80%. Okay, if it's 20% off, we're spending 80% of the total. All right, and then 100 always goes on the bottom left, and then we need to figure out what the sale price was, so we do not know, okay? Now, with this lesson, okay, because we can apply this to the real world if we're going shopping or whatever it may be, okay, you're more than likely gonna have a calculator to use. So I will allow you to use a calculator in this lesson. You do need to get it set up into the proportion first, so I need to see this set up, but then I will allow you to use a calculator to find your answer. Now on this specific example, we're not necessarily gonna need one because we're gonna be able to do mental math. So I'm not gonna really show you the calculator method on this, all right? With the calculator method though, you do need to just cross multiply and divide. I would need to take 80 times 20, right, cross multiply, and then I divide by whatever's diagonal of my variable, and then divide by 100. But we know in solving a proportion, okay, we can do mental math. How do I get from 100 to 20? Well, we divide by 5, right? So to get my answer, all I need to do is take 80 divided by 5, and I have $16, okay? So there's, would be an example of finding the percent of discount. So if we were trying, if maybe a t-shirt or something was originally priced at $20 and they had a percent of a discount, 20% off, right? It means we would only be having to be spending $16 for that shirt, okay? All right, next example, okay? Cost to the store, okay? Markup, and what is the selling price? So we know this is a markup type of problem, so I'm gonna use this bottom proportion. and it's an 80% markup. So that doesn't mean we're spending 80%. That means we're spending 180%, right? So we take 100 plus whatever the markup is. The markup was 80. So 100 plus 80 is 180. Put that over 100, okay? And they gave us the cost to the store. We know cost to the store goes on the bottom. So I'm gonna put 56 on the bottom, and we're trying to figure out how much money we are gonna spend. So if we wanted to purchase an item, all right, and it was the store, it took the store, or cost the store $56 to buy that item, and they marked it up 80%, we're finding out how much it's gonna be for us to pay for that item, okay? Now, since I don't really have a mental math strategy here, it's okay just to go straight to cross multiply and divide, okay? So what you do in your calculator is you take 180 times 56, all right, and that's gonna give you 10,080. And then what you do is you leave that in your calculator. So you see this number in your calculator, you hit the divide key directly after that. Don't clear this, just leave it in your calculator. Hit the divide key, and then you need to divide by the other number that's left. That's the opposite of your variable, right? And that gets you, so we're dividing by 10, so that gets us 108/10. Now, because we're talking about money, you do need to always have at least two numbers after the decimal. So I'm just gonna add a 0. That doesn't mean $100.08, it means $100.80, okay? And that is your answer for that one. All right, last example. Okay, original price, sale price, what is the percent of discount? So we're finding percent of discount here. All right, so we do not know the percent of discount in this case. So my top left is my variable, okay? All right, do not know my percent of discount. They told me that the original price was $60, original goes on the bottom, and that the sale price is $45, sale price goes on top, okay? So we can just go ahead straight cross multiply and divide if we want again. So we're just gonna take 100 times 45, and that's gonna get us 4,500. And then we're just gonna divide by our other number left over and 60. So I'm just leaving 4,500 in my calculator, divide by 60, and I will get 75. Now, you need to understand something here. When we do not know the percent of markup or the percent of discount, you have to be careful, okay? We're being asked, what is the percent of discount? X is what we found. We found 75%, right? We found 75%. But this top left represents the percent we're spending, okay? So it's saying we're spending 75%, okay? That does not represent what the percent of discount is. It's saying 75% of 100 is the exact same thing as 45 of 60, okay? So that means what we're spending. So if we were spending 75%, right, what it's asking for is the percent of discount, okay? So how much off out of the 100 was it to only spend 75, right? Really all you do on this, since it is percent of discount, you're taking 100, just like we would up here, and you're subtracting, okay, whatever we were spending, and that gives us our discount, okay? So when you do not know the percent of markup or the percent of discount, whatever you get after you cross multiply and divide, okay, that number represents what you're spending. It doesn't represent the percent of markup or discount. So then you need to go one step further, and if it's a discount, you need to take 100 minus whatever you get, and then that is actually your final answer of your percent of discount. Or if it was a markup, you would take 100 plus whatever you got for your answer to find the percent of markup, okay? So if you don't know the percent of markup or discount, you have one extra step at the end, all right, to either add or subtract to figure out what the actual percent of markup or discount is, okay? Remember, this part represents what we're spending, not the discount. All right, your homework's on page 250, 4 through 18 evens.